Living in Deserts by Taya Bendoon. Chapter 1. Welcome to the desert. The air is hot and dry. Sand blows in your face. Rocks and sand are all you can see for miles and miles. You are thirsty. You will not have much luck finding water because rain has not fallen here for more than a year. Where are you? You are in a desert. A desert is an extreme place to live. No other place on earth is as dry as a desert. Fewer than 10 inches, 25 centimeters, of rain fall in deserts each year. The soil is dry, and rainfall can cause a flash flood. In the world's deserts, more people have drowned in desert rainstorms than have died from thirst. Flash floods happen when a desert's dry ground cannot soak up water quickly. Deserts are almost everywhere in the world. You can find deserts in South America, North America, Asia, Australia, Africa, and Antarctica. Deserts cover about 1/4 of all land on Earth. One of the coldest places on Earth, Antarctica, is a desert. Many deserts are hot. There are not enough clouds to shield the ground from the sun's heat. One of the hottest temperatures ever recorded was in Death Valley, California. The temperature reached 132 degrees Fahrenheit, 56 degrees Celsius. Not all deserts are hot, however. Most of Antarctica is a cold desert. Temperatures there can be as low as minus 128 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 89 degrees Celsius. That is way below freezing. Chapter 2. People of the Desert. Deserts can be filled with danger. People can get heat stroke from extreme temperatures. Lack of water can lead to dehydration. Too much exposure to the sun can cause sunburn. Some people, however, are able to live in deserts. To them, deserts are home. For hundreds of years, people have found ways to protect themselves against the extreme conditions of deserts. They build shelters for shade during the day. They travel at night. The nomadic people of Asia's Gobi Desert move from place to place to find resources. They live in tent-like structures called yurts, which they carry with them. A yurt is easy to put up, take down, and move. It will stay standing even in winds of 90 miles, 145 kilometers, per hour. Miners in Coober Pedy, on the edge of Australia's Great Victoria Desert, escape the sun's heat in their underground homes. Different groups of people live in deserts around the world. Each group has its own way of life. They build different types of shelters to suit their ways of life. Some build homes with bricks they make from mixing mud with straw. Some people live underground. The people of Coober Pedy, Australia, dig underground rooms to make their homes. Long ago, the only people who lived in deserts lived traditional lifestyles. Today, many kinds of people live in deserts. They use modern technology to build air-conditioned buildings and to pump water into their cities. Phoenix, Arizona, for example, is in the Sonoran Desert. Some modern cities, such as Phoenix, Arizona, are located in deserts. Chapter 3. Living in the desert. Harsh weather and climate make it hard for people to live in deserts. Over many years, people have learned ways to find enough water to survive. The San people of the Kalahari Desert in Africa, for example, know which plants store water. They also use long reeds to suck up water from underground. They then store the water in ostrich eggshells. Most people who live in deserts live near an oasis. An oasis has enough water to grow crops. Many people have palm trees. A fruit called a date grows on these trees. People can also grow olive trees, wheat, and other crops for food. If an oasis is big enough, people can build villages, towns, or even cities around it. Dates grow on palm trees. People can eat them or trade them for money or other goods. These Tuareg people live in the Sahara Desert. They cover their faces with long, flowing cloaks. Their clothes keep sand out of their eyes, hair, mouths, and skin. Very few plants grow in deserts. Often deserts go on for hundreds of miles of land with no shade. Strong winds blow through the barren landscape. A dust storm can strike at any moment without warning. Desert people wear layers of loose-fitting clothes to protect themselves from the sun and blowing dust. Some people who live in deserts do not stay in one place. The Tuareg people live in the Sahara Desert in Africa. For hundreds of years they have traveled across the desert. They carry items for trade, such as gold and spices, from one side of the desert to the other. The Tuareg people raise goats to provide milk and meat and to carry water across the desert. Camels have often been called ships of the desert. They can live for a long time off the fat stored in their humps. For hundreds of years, many people have used camels to travel through the desert. Camels are built to survive desert weather and climate. Their thick, woolly hair protects them from the hot sun. Their wide feet stop them from sinking in the sand. They can drink 25 gallons, 95 liters, of water in minutes, and they do not need to drink again for days. Fewer than 100 years ago, many people could not cross a desert without a camel. Today, camels are less important than they once were. People now drive cars and trucks through deserts. Deserts are easier to cross today, but you would not want to get stranded. You may not get help for a long time. Strong winds blow sand through deserts. Blowing sand makes it hard for drivers to see the road. Chapter 4. People and the Desert Today. Every year, more people live on the edges of deserts. They cut down trees for fuel and farm the land. They bring animals, such as goats, to graze on the land. The areas surrounding deserts cannot support all the people who live in them. Humans use up lots of water. As people use the land, the soil loses its nutrients and becomes weak. Most kinds of plants cannot grow in weak soil. Without plants to hold the soil in place, it can dry out and blow away in heavy winds. Dry earth can cover smaller plants and stop them from growing. Every year, more land turns into desert, and the world's deserts grow bigger. The spreading of desert edges is called desertification. The yellow areas on this map show the current desert areas in Africa. The red shows areas at risk for desertification. Some people harm deserts. They have found valuable resources in the desert. Large companies mine deserts for precious metals such as gold. Others drill for oil and natural gas. Such use of deserts causes pollution, which can spread to the rest of the world. Pollution of the desert can harm the whole planet. Desert mines cause pollution that can spread to other parts of the world. Scientists hope to stop the spread of deserts by planting new crops and trees. They cover the plants with plastic covers that look like tunnels. Some people, however, are trying to save deserts. Conservation scientists are trying to replant areas that have become desert. They build plastic covers over healthy crops, which stops plants from drying out. Some governments restrict the ways people can use the land. Other deserts are protected as national parks. Protecting deserts can help the planet. Glossary. Barren, not able to have living things grow. Climate, the weather and temperature usually found in an area. Conservation, having to do with careful protection of something. Dehydration, extreme thirst or the state of being without enough body fluids due to lack of water. Desertification, the changing of fertile land into desert. Extreme, having more of something, such as heat or dryness, than we are used to. Flash flood, a sudden, violent flood that occurs in heavy rainstorms. Graze, feed on grass. Heat stroke, extremely high body temperature as a result of too much exposure to the sun. Nutrients, substances that living things need to grow. Oasis, a place in a desert that has water. Pollution, human-made waste that harms the environment. Protect, keep safe. Reeds, tall grasses with long, stiff stems. Resources, natural substances that people can use to make their lives better. Traditional, having to do with a way of life and beliefs that have been in use for many generations. For more information, books. Deserts, Habitats series, Fran Howard, Buddy Books. Deserts, Heinemann First Library series, Angela Royston, Heinemann. Deserts, Learning About the Earth series, Emily K. Green, Bellwether Media. Deserts, Where on Earth series, Joanne Early Macken, Gareth Stevens.